And who else? Oh, Gil Kane was arguably the biggest influence on me for dynamics. Gil Kane was Broadway. If you guys know Gil Kane, when somebody got hit, right? They went flying through walls, right? There was no rule of punching. Everything was big for Gil Kane. So it was true. At that time, DC Comics, the art was okay, but it wasn't marvelous and dynamic. You know, as one of the stories that you were telling. And I think that was one of the things you were looking for.
I used to jump up on the desk and act things out for the artists to let them see how I wanted everything exaggerated. Those were good days. Now that you mention it, I'm thinking of it. I loved working with those guys. They were terrific. They made everything I wrote better than it was. So bless them all.
All right, so we're down to 15 minutes. So you want to go to some questions here from the audience?
Not particular. I don't know the answer.
So instead of listening to my questions, why don't we get to
if it'll shut you up for a while, yeah, let's take it. But you gotta tell me what it is, I won't hear them.
That's why I'm here. All right? You're Batman, I'm Robin. Let's go, Bruce. All right? Okay, young man. We got a young little man here. What do you have for us?
Hey, Mr. Lee. What would you say your favorite Marvel character is?
Of all the characters in String, you have a favorite.
Spider-Man. Wait a minute. Have I told you how Spider-Man was created, how he came to appear?
No, but you are.
I'm going to tell you. I think it's a funny story. We had done the Fantastic Four, and maybe we had the X-Men, I don't remember, but my publisher came into me and he said, Stan, I think you're onto something. I want you to come up with another superhero. Well, when he said that, I had to come up with another or he might have fired me. So I went home and I thought, and when you think of a new superhero, the first thing you need is to think of his power. So I thought, what power can I give him? And I saw a fly crawling on a wall. And I said, wow, wouldn't it be something if I could get a hero who could stick to walls? That would be cool. And then I think I'm lying to you. I didn't say it would be cool, because that word was, I probably said it would be groovy. Cool didn't come along until later. But anyway, I liked the idea, so I needed a name. So I thought Insect Man, Mosquito Man, and nothing sounded good. Then I got down to Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Oh man, that sounded dramatic. So I had my character's power, and I had his name. Then I thought I'd make him a teenager, which would make him different than all the other superheroes. And then I thought I'll give him a lot of personal problems, and that'll make him very different. So I went running into my publisher's office, and this is the reception I got. My publisher said, Spider-Man? Stan, people hate spiders. You can't call a hero Spider-Man. And you want to make him a teenager? A teenager should only be a sidekick. And you want him to have personal problems. Don't you know what a superhero is? So I left the office with my tail between my legs. I was so depressed. Not only did he like my idea, he hated it. But I couldn't get Spider-Man out of my mind. And we were about to kill a magazine called Amazing Fantasy. Now, when you kill a magazine, nobody cares what you put in the last issue, because you're killing it. Just to get it out of my system, I wrote a Spider-Man story, did go through it, I put it in Amazing Fantasy, and forgot I put it on the cover, and I forgot about it. A month later, all the sales figures came in, and Amazing Fantasy with Spider-Man was by far the best-selling book of all the ones we had. So a few minutes later, my publisher came running into my office. Stan, you remember that character Spider-Man of yours that we both liked so much? I swear. He said, let's do it as a series. And that's how Spidey was born.
All right, another question.
Hello, Mr. Lee. Is there any character that you've written that you feel that you put more of yourself into, or anyone that you identify with?
Yeah, probably Tony Stark, because he's so good-looking and successful. No, I don't really think so. When I'm writing anything, I'm putting myself into it, because whatever I have the character saying is what, obviously, as the writer, it's what I would say. And whatever the character does is what I would do if I were that character. I think every writer is like that. When you're writing about somebody, you have him do the things you would do, unless he's the villain. But even the villains, I try to treat them, have them do the villainous things that I would do if I were a villain. I think I'd make a great villain, by the way. Oh, I'll tell you about Dr. Doom. He's one of my favorite villains, but I think that really he's been treated unfairly, because he's not really a criminal. See, all Dr. Doom wants to do is rule the world. Now, you can walk up to a policeman at any time and say, "Officer, I want to rule the world." He can't arrest you. It's not a crime to want to rule the world. So I don't know why they make this big deal about what's his name? Dr. Doom. Sorry, I keep interrupting.
That's DD. So it's easy for you. Doc Doom. That's it. All right, next. Oh, they're saying we're one more. We got one more, and then we're cutting it. We got this better be good. Pressure's on. You got the whole arena. One last question.
Nobody has any questions.
This guy had a question right here. So we're coming down here. He's going to give you a question. Yes, sir. What would you like?
I've been a really huge fan for a long time, and one of your main characters that really drove me to loving you is Spider-Man. And I was just wondering, because I've heard that a lot of other comic book artists create their characters from
There's no question he's writing a book.
Their ideas from like families with certain issues or whatever. And I was just wondering if any of your if any of Spider-Man's attributes came from like your family and friends.
So I want you to tell that to me word for word.
He said, is it Spider-Man or Spider-Man? Like comic book or comic book? Spider-Man or Spider-Man? I am joking. His question is, did you ever pull attributes from, did you ever pull ideas or attributes, characterizations from neighbors or friends or family to speak into some character?
Never.
All right. And on that, before we go, can you give the crowd one Excelsior for them as they leave the building? Give them an Excelsior, because this will be the last time that we will be back in Dallas for quite some time. Mr. StanLee.
Do they rate an Excelsior?
Do they rate an Excelsior? I don't know.